Hello, everyone. Welcome to session 7 of Product University. I always want to say PU, but I feel like that's not a fun word for it. So, Product University, I am so excited for today's content. It's a really useful one. So, I do hope that you're able to learn something and apply it to your day-to-day life. So, without further ado, let's get into the presentation. All right, so today's topic is on Radiant 100 versus Dermatology EX. And so this is such a crucial topic because there are so many different products in the Riman and Derm line. And I understand that a lot of people can be overwhelmed when they initially receive, their box of goodies. So hopefully in understanding this and understanding your skin can help you better decide your own ritual and what ritual is best to prescribe to someone else, so to say. So firstly, and most importantly, to understand which ritual is right for you, to understand which line to embrace, you have to understand your skin type. So we touched a little bit on skin types back in session 3 when we talked about skin physiology, or maybe it was session 2, my gosh. But it's extremely important to understand what type of skin you have because it can greatly affect the product's interaction with your skin, the ultimate efficacy that you experience, and ultimately your Riman flow. So just kind of a reminder, let's touch on the different types of skin. And what's really also important to notice is that traditional skin types are identified based on the amount of sebum or oil on the skin. So certain people recommend to decide which skin type you have, you should cleanse your face, apply nothing else, wait an hour, and then address your skin. Look at it, kind of analyze it, and that can help you determine what skin type you have. So firstly, with dry skin, your skin is lacking oil. So after you've cleansed and you've waited that hour, your skin might feel tight after cleansing and might have some visible dullness and even flaking or dry patches around the skin. So really we're looking here at the absence of oil for the skin type. The second skin type is not necessarily a traditional skin type in the oil appreciation standards, but dehydrated skin is also extremely important to acknowledge. So in this instance, your skin is lacking water. So you might have the necessary oils that your skin is producing, but if you don't have enough water content in your skin will still feel dry, slightly unpleasant, excuse me, perhaps a bit tight, and there can be some visible dullness again. And so there is a bit of difficulty in determining if your skin is dry or dehydrated. And so that comes later with your skin's ultimate interaction with products. And so if anything, I actually invite you to embrace this experimentation of choosing either oil-rich or water-rich products to see which best benefits your skin. The third skin type is when you have too much production of sebum. This is oily skin. So your skin often feels greasy, looks shiny, and it also might be more acne prone because this excessive amount of sebum clogs your pores and creates comedones or those tiny little pustules in your skin. Next is combination. So parts of your face, which typically is your T-zone, your forehead, and your nose, is kind of oily, and then the surrounding areas are either dry, tight, or they can be normal as well. Now, normal skin. Lucky you if you have normal skin. So skin feels neither dry nor oily, feels perfectly balanced, and generally does well with a variety of different product types. And then lastly, also not a traditional skin type is sensitive skin. And the reason it's not a traditional skin type is because you can have multiple other characteristic skin types with sensitive skin. You can have sensitive and oily skin, sensitive and dry skin, etc. So sensitive skin is easily irritated or inflamed and has to have gentle products in order to be essentially comfortable. And what's really interesting about this sensitive skin specifically is that Aveeno actually did a study in 2022 and just polled a variety of people. I think they polled 1,000 different people and found that roughly 71% of adults identified as having sensitive skin. So whether or not they have clinically identified sensitive skin, that is tested and proven to be sensitized, people still perceive their skin to be sensitive. And that's important in creating product lines that cater towards these self-perceptions, so to speak. The other important thing to note in variety of all the skin types is that your skin is not restricted to this specific skin type for the rest of your life. So, you weren't born one day and some higher power decided, let's make their skin dry like the Sahara. No, it can really be or rather it depends on so many different factors. So For example, if you're overwashing your skin, that can actually make your skin more oily because your skin is trying to compensate by producing more oil. Or, for example, based on your external exposures, based on your age, all of these things can drastically change your skin type. So in understanding this, what's really important to mention and to acknowledge is that you should make sure that your current routine or the routine you embrace is not forcing a specific skin type to your skin, if that makes sense. So if you are over cleansing and you are producing essentially oily skin, see how modulating your cleansing routine actually decreases or increases your oil balance, things of that nature. So it's a very nuanced concept, but it's so important to understand what type of skin you have or what type of skin someone has that you are bringing into Riman in order to best suggest a product line. So in understanding what skin type you have, we then can go into appreciate the two main categories of skincare within the Derm line. So that's going to be Dermatology EX and Radiance 100. So Dermatology EX is virtually for all skin types. So because we have that extremely high concentration of young pool leaf water, which is an extremely natural and sensitive skin friendly, I guess I would say, ingredient, you can really appreciate it with multiple different skin types. So in this regard, I always suggest anyone starting out with Riman to try out the Dermatology EX line first, because not only is it so gentle, it also has that German Derma safety testing. So it's going to make sure that we don't have that potential for any skin irritation or reaction. So these products are more lightweight and water rich, and because of that, it's more quickly absorbing, or it has the perception of more quick absorption. So this focuses more on really hydration, just delivering the ultimate form of hydration and water balance to the skin to boost your glow. So especially dehydrated skin types, normal, combination, and sensitive skin types are really going to benefit from the Dermatology EX line. However, as we then turn to the Radiance 100 line, as y'all know, this is our more advanced skincare routine with that liposomal technology. So it's really specialized for more mature skin, more dry skin, but also can be applicable to normal or combination skin. And so again, this is where it's just, an invite of experimentation just to see, what activities you like better, what feel or sensory experience you like better in comparison between Radiance and Dermatology EX, etc. So with the Radiance 100 line, it's more emollient and oil rich in formulation such that it is slower absorbing. So the heavier oil droplets are going to take a little bit longer to absorb into your skin. Still as efficacious, just again, a different sensory experience. In that same regard then, so to speak, the Radiance 100 line focuses more on brightening and increasing skin elasticity and plumpness. So a little bit more of those anti-aging claims in regards to just really addressing skin support. However, you still get those benefits from the Dermatology EX line. You still get some wrinkle reduction, et cetera. And so we'll go into that a little bit more in detail in a bit. But in appreciating either line, we have to, of course, appreciate the 3 tenets of K-beauty that govern them. And I'm sure that y'all have heard me talk about these 3 tenets so often now after a couple of sessions of Product University, but they're still just so important. So with the Dermatology EX line or the Radiance 100 line, we're really looking at that second tenet of hydration. So within hydration, we're considering not only, of course, water balance, but we're also considering delivery of moisturization, delivery of active ingredients, anti-aging claims or brightening claims, etc. So that all is kind of housed within that second tenet. And then, of course, the first and third tenets, so cleanse and protect, can be satisfied with the ancillary products offered within the Derm line. With your cleansing routine, you have your pure cell cleansing oil, your snow enzyme cleanser, active cleanup powder. With Protect, you have the coverage products, or you have the aqua protection sunscreen. So really right now we are focusing on that second tenet of hydration in essentially the performance of both EX and Radiance 100. So if you've determined what skin type you have and you want to kind of start moving forward with Dermatology EX, this is really our signature line for skin that glows from the inside out. This is the line that allowed us to rise to #1 as a K-beauty brand in direct selling in Korea. And so this brand highly focuses on that giant Byungpool leaf water, as I've mentioned previously. So just a reminder, the booster has 88% of that Byungpool leaf water, serum has 81%, and the active cream has 57%. So again, with Bianco being such a gentle ingredient, I find that this is just perfect to suggest anyone starting out with Riman who isn't too sure what their skin type is, or who isn't too sure if they even perhaps have sensitive skin, for example, and they're anxious or worried about trying out anything that's too advanced, like the Radiance Sun 100 line. So with appreciating the Dermatology EX line in comparison to the Radiance Sun 100 line, we are looking more at water-rich formulations with water-based ingredients. So when we look very simplistically, these are the flip chart pages from the Insulderm flip chart, which you can find on the drive. But we're looking at the main ingredients called out on this page. So of course, beyond the Biangpo or the Centella Asiatic leaf extract, we also have a patented extract called Sporicis crispa extract, which is a mushroom. And so this is keeping your skin healthy and nourished. And then this is paired with an amino acid complex that contains 17 different amino acids, all of which work towards not only your skin's vitality, but also maintaining skin elasticity. And so that's what I mentioned in regards to the quote unquote anti-aging claims that you might pursue in the Radiance Sun 100 line. You're not getting them in the Dermatology EX line. You can still benefit from either line in regards to wrinkle reduction or into structural skin support. So this is further extrapolated when we look at the active cream specifically, which contains not one, but two patented botanical extracts or complexes rather that aim towards not only infusing antioxidant care into the skin, but also bringing back elasticity to the skin. So I don't want anyone to think that they're restricted in the performances between either line. You know, if they do have dry skin and they only really work with the Dermatology EX line, you're still getting multiple benefits outside of just hydration. So I really wanted to point that out here because both lines are so beneficial to the skin. They're just, you know, different in their own respects. And we'll touch on that a little bit at the end in a direct comparison between the two. So after appreciating Dermatology EX line, water rich, quickly absorbing, focused on hydration, radiance, but also does have some elasticity care. Let's turn then to Radiance Sun 100. So Radiance Sun 100, that 100 stands for 100% microfluidized. So these entire formulas are composed of liposomes. And as I've said previously, in my experience in the formulation sphere of cosmetic chemistry and personal care, you might have one or two active ingredients in a formula that are liposomally encapsulated, such that the entirety of the formula is maybe 5%, 10% liposomal. But we made it, you know, crucial to the existence of the Radiance Sun 100 line to produce a 100% microfluidized formula that is stable and efficacious. And so that's exactly what you're getting with the Radiance Sun 100 line. So if we look a little bit deeper at liposomal technology, this is a huge distinction between the Dermatology EX line and the Radiance Sun 100 line. So liposomes are essentially spherical molecules. They were initially used and introduced in the drug industry to enhance the absorption of medicine. And of course, like many things, it was adopted by the cosmetic industry a few years back. So liposomes have essentially two different areas. They have one area that is oil rich and one that is water rich. And so this allows for essentially the inclusion of active molecules into the liposomes for enhanced absorption into the skin. Your skin is fantastic at what it's supposed to be doing, which is acting as a barrier. So sometimes actives or ingredients are either too large of a molecule or they're the wrong polarity. Either they are oil rich or they're water rich, and it inhibits the ultimate interaction of that ingredient with your skin. So liposomes ensure that every single part of a formula, especially in case of Radiance Sun line, is optimized for absorption and thusly for efficacy. So this really is employed throughout the Radiance Sun 100 line for that advanced style of skincare that the Radiance Sun line stands by. So just a little bit deeper into the liposome technology because it is so unique and it's something that Riman put a lot of time and research into. We use an exclusive microfluidizer processor to create nanoliposomes. So of course, nanoscopic in size. And so there's actually a pretty useful kind of depiction here showing how that occurs. So you essentially have your formula. So in this case, we have our entire toner formula for the Radiance Sun 100 toner. And we pour it into the microfluidizer and using essentially Bernoulli's principle, which is very scientific and I almost failed physics, so I don't want to go too deep into it. But essentially using very high and then very low pressure and speeds, you're able to force the formula through various different channels or essentially these micro nanotubules to break apart the formula and to form tiny, tiny liposomes. So after the processing through the microfluidizer processor, the output is nanoliposomes that are 1/350th the size or thickness of a human hair. So 350 times smaller than a human hair. And that really just gives you an idea, a perception of how tiny and microscopic these molecules are that are working for your skin and are delivering ingredients to your skin. So with the Radiant 100 line across all three products, they of course have various different ingredients that change their viscosities or change their finishes, but all three products have the same main 5 ingredients that are really performing for your skin. And this is to ensure this essentially layering of gentle yet efficacious ingredients, which is at our core as a K-beauty brand. So our RK Snowflake Complex and Vita Complex are both exclusive to Riman in the sense that a supplier creates it only for us. So RK Snowflakes is essentially able to maintain your skin's vitality. And when I say vitality, it really means your skin's health and innate function. It just keeps your skin and your cellular processes going at their own rate. With Vita Complex, we have a 5-vitamin complex for skin radiance. So just essentially providing your skin with essential nutrients to continue to process and to continue to essentially bring about new fresh skin cells to the surface that are vibrant, they are radiant, they are healthy. Collageneer is patented by us. So this is one of the 13 different patents we have within the Instaderm line. And in this instance, we are maintaining skin elasticity and dermal support. So easily you can see collagen in the name. And so that kind of gives you an idea of what area of the skin it's addressing. To finish off, we have Pancratium meritymum extract, which essentially just helps it reduce hyperpigmentation as a brightening agent. And then last but not least, sunflower extract is a beautiful ingredient, well known in the industry. It's rich in vitamin E, which again has antioxidant benefits. So Radiant overall, just remember it's, with the liposomes, it's going to be more oil rich in nature. So these ingredients are going to be oil based. They're going to be delivered liposomally for the ultimate performance of the products. So just to kind of bring it back then in the comparison of the two, let's talk about Dermatology EX and Radiant 100, specifically why Dermatology EX isn't also 100% liposomal. So this is a question I've gotten a lot, and it's a fantastic question. If we understand that liposomes are helping the absorption of ingredients and ultimately the efficacy of a product, why wouldn't we employ them in the Dermatology EX line? And so there are actually a variety of reasons why we wouldn't. The first and most important is texture and application. So using liposomes can not only really affect the absorption rate of a product, but can also affect the texture. If we were to include liposomes in the Dermatology EX line, it would make it much heavier. So this would kind of reduce that hydrating, quick absorbing feel you get with Dermatology EX. The second is ingredient compatibility. So some active ingredients may work synergistically with liposomes as seen with the Radiant 100 line, while others may not. So when we look at something like the Dermatology EX line, we have young pool leaf water, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, all of these are water-based actives that very easily can be carried to the skin with water as a vehicle. You don't need the excessive liposome technology to deliver these ingredients to the skin. They do well on their own, essentially. Furthermore, this little thing at the bottom, for instance, liposomes may help stabilize and enhance the performance of certain antioxidants or vitamins, making them more suitable for products focused on anti-aging benefits. So that's exactly right. Liposomes help with a lot of stability of certain materials in formula that are traditionally unstable for a variety of reasons. With the Dermatology EX line, we don't need that additional stability. It would just, if anything, weigh down the product line. You can also kind of tell this based on how they're bottled differently. So the Dermatology EX line is all kind of that nice clear packaging. You can see the fluids because the ingredients are not affected by light, exposure to light, etc. Versus the Radiant 100 line. The bottles, yes, are a bit more opulent because it's the more advanced line, but they're also opaque. And so that makes sure that the formulas are kept away from sunlight because otherwise the actives, although sequestered within liposomes, can still be photo unstable. So these are just things to consider from a formulation standpoint. But rest assured, both the Dermatology EX line in the Radiance 100 line are equally as effective depending on your ultimate skin goals. All right, but I know there are some of you out there that are Riman ritualists and you want to try them all. You want both Derm EX and Radiance 100. And so we suggest using Dermatology EX in the morning. So because it is that lightweight, water-rich formulation, it's going to absorb quickly. It's going to allow you to do your steps quickly and then apply makeup if necessary. I know people who do use Radiance 100 in the morning have no issue with applying makeup or anything of like. They enjoy the texture that their skin presents with the Radiance 100. And so this is really up for you to experiment with. This is just my suggestion. But, you know, with that being said, with Dermatology X in the morning, you can absolutely use Radiance 100 at night. I especially suggest this because that more emollient and slower absorbing nature of the Rad 100 line really just kind of allows your skin to reap the benefits as you're sleeping. So because they are slower absorbing, the texture experience or sensory experience rather that you have with the Radiance 100 line doesn't necessarily hinder your day-to-day. I know some people that hate the feeling of stuff on their face in the morning versus now, you know, we have night masks, we have thick products at night because your skin has that time to absorb it and to process it. So just based on, you know, our beliefs, we suggest Derm EX in the morning, Radiance 100 at night, but ultimately invite you to figure out what works best. So y'all, that's it. That's it for today. Of course, we made an outline. This outline is really important for y'all, especially if you're trying to kind of figure out how to suggest a routine for somebody else, someone new to your team, or perhaps a customer. So I invite you to download this outline and to save it out. I think we're also dropping the link in the chat box. But yeah, so that's it for today on Radiance 100 versus Dermatology EX. If any of this created any other questions, feel free to reach out at ritual@riman.com, and I am happy to help you best break down what ritual is right for you. But next week is our final session. I am so sad, but it's going to be a great session. So we are culminating all the different things we've learned in the last few weeks into a final, I guess, a final exam. So the Riman ritual, why skincare should always be self-care. So we're really going to get into the different things we've learned, the different products, your skincare, your hair care, your body care, and why each thing should be appreciated as a ritual rather than a routine. You know, it's not an obligation, it's inspiration.